Hey guys, it's Nicole again from Trouble. If you're out there, thanks for watching these. I got a request online to do a Boulevardier, so I'm super excited. I love a Boulevardier. We have one on the menu here at Trouble called Turpitude. So if you're ever in sometime when all this is over, stop on in and we'll get you some. So for our house turpitude, we use a Old Forester 100. Part of the reason we use this whiskey is because one of the great things about a Boulevardier is that it's essentially a Negroni, but with whiskey. So when we make it, we're using the same ratios, the same, main ingredients that go into a Negroni, which I'll talk about in just a second. So you can actually play with the whiskey quite a bit. Because this uses two different vermouths, essentially, or Amari, I like to balance it with a little bit higher proof whiskey, so that's why we like Old Faux. But you can also do something like Jim Beam Black, or anything that's a little bit higher than 86 or even 90 proof, really, is what I would recommend for this specific cocktail, so that the whiskey actually cuts through the other ingredients, because a Negroni is 3 ingredients, all for 1 ounce. And so, the whiskey is just a third of the cocktail. So, you want to pick something that at the end of the day, you're still going to know that's a whiskey drink. So we're back with our basic. Any kitchen has a pint glass. You probably have like those brewery giveaway glasses, I bet, 16 ounces. We're going to grab our trusty jigger, but again, the 1, 2, 3 finger method is going to be fine. I'm going to roll with Jim Beam Black here for this one, and we're just going to do 1 ounce. And again, if you are cocktailing from home, 1 finger. 1 finger will do, basically 1 ounce. Then we're going to use 2 different vermouths. Here at Trouble, we use Contrado Bitter and the Contrado Rosa, which is just their red vermouth. Now, we like these because Contrado is all natural. There's no coloring, no flavoring. But if you have any sort of red vermouth at home, sweet vermouth will pretty much work in this instance. If you're like me and you have parties and you buy like 1 thing of red vermouth, and then it just sits on your liquor shelf for however many months it takes you to go through an entire bottle of vermouth. So we're going to add that in here. Also 1 ounce. And again, you can do that nice finger check. We're at 2. There you go. When in quarantine, one must not concern themselves with tools. And then we're going to go with Contrado Bitter. If you can't find Contrado Bitter, Campari is the other option here. It's a very similar flavor profile. Some people like to do a little twist on this and use Aperol, which is a little bit sweeter in the family of Amaro and vermouths. Use what you have in your kitchen. If you can afford or access some online liquor orders, go for it. I just love Contrado Bitter. I think it is super delicious, but it isn't overwhelmingly flavored. So it does really kind of harken back to the old ancient vermouth recipes, which is just herb, wine, and that's it. And just let it sit. So add 1 ounce of Contrado Bitter. There we go. And again, if you're following along from home with no jigger, you are at 3 fingers of liquid, 3 ounces. All right. Then we're going to add our ice. And so I think I talked about this in the old-fashioned video, so I just want to put this here so you guys can watch it. So when you stir, so where my finger is where the drink line is. So that's where everything was before I started forcing the ice to dilute. And let's give it a couple more stirs here. If you can see how it's just a little bit above that original mark there. Sorry, that's probably not super clear, but it just rose above, which means that we've efficiently diluted the cocktail. And grab your glass, and again, in these uncertain times, let us not waste ice. There we go. And that, my friends, is a Boulevardier. Cheers!